finished, Monica! I don't want to see you back here until you're ready to wake up and start doing things properly! Right now.
It was an accident.
I'm sorry, did you hear me asking for excuses?
No, I'll do better, I promise.
Why is she so aggressive? She won't even listen to what the poor girl has to say!
Wait! Huh? Who do you think you are telling me? Wait a sec. Navia? So, you're bringing backup now. Suit yourself! You're still wasting your time!
Savannah, is this how you always treat your staff?
My staff is right. I'm the one in charge here now. And last time I checked, the Hotel de Boer doesn't take orders from the Spina di Rosula.
Of course. How you run your kitchen is none of our business. But when a member of your staff is so overworked he becomes gravely ill, that most definitely is our business. We're going to stand up for him, whether you like it or not.
Overworked? I've said it before and I'll say it again. If Fermont can't handle the job, then tough luck.
But Fermont can do the job, he just...
Monica, back inside!
Huh?
Just do as you're told, and not another word out of you!
Wow! What a horrible person!
Sorry. Looks like I've dragged you. Her name is Savannah. She's the new head chef at Hotel de Boer. Ever since she took the job, she's been enforcing a brutal work regime. One guy was so overworked, he collapsed from illness.
I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
At his family's request, the Spina di Rosula is trying to mediate on his behalf. Savannah is adamant that Vermont's exhaustion and illness have nothing to do with her or how she's been running her kitchen. Our next thought was to talk to the other chefs at the restaurant and get a better idea of their working conditions. And that's why I'm here, doing it the old-fashioned way.
Oh, shoot! It all makes sense now.
Oh, no, not at all, Paimon. Honestly, the way she was laying into Monica, someone had to step in. And besides, I don't really think I'm built for espionage. Yeah, meaning it's gonna be all the more difficult to get the inside scoop now.
Paimon will join you.
Guys, it's fine. You don't need to worry about it. A really famous chef just joined the Spina di Rosula's tavern.
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to apologize for the scene you witnessed just now. This is a small token from us. It's some candy from Monica. She asked me to make sure it was...
Monica's the one apologizing? Huh. Clearly
Our head chef has been a little highly strung lately.
All right. Since there's candy, Paimon will drop it.
Thank you for understanding.
A little highly strung, huh?
Paimon doesn't get it. How did someone like her even become head chef?
Well, according to Fermat's family, she hasn't always been like this.
Oh, Paimon totally gets it. Huh? Hold on, there's something written on the wrapper. Find... Escoffier? So, who is this Escoffier, anyway?
Well, for starters, she used to be the head chef at the Hotel de Boer. She recreated the legendary Gâteau de Boer and restored the restaurant back to its former glory. Safe to say, she's the most renowned head chef in the Hotel de Boer's history.
Gâteau de Boer? That's the super exclusive cake that they only sell a few slices a day, right?
Well, apparently, the Hotel de Boer was reported for a safety incident, but none of the chefs had any idea how it could have gotten into the food. In the end, Escoffier decided that as head chef, she should take responsibility, and she was sent to the Fortress of Meripede.
The Fortress of Meripede?
Well, you're right. The quantity of the substance they found was fairly minimal. Even the guards believed the whole thing was probably just an accident. Escoffier didn't have to stay in the fortress for long, but still, by the time she returned, The role...
So that's what happened.
Even though Escoffier is no longer head chef at the hotel, she's still well respected by the staff. So, I'm guessing what Monica wants is for us to convince Escoffier to try and negotiate with Savannah on the staff's behalf.
Oh, Paimon gets it! Monica wants Escoffier to come back and kick Savannah out. It's simple. If the new head chef is stressing everyone out, then the solution is just get the old one back.
Well, about that...
You thought cream of mushroom soup was ready to serve after 3.5 minutes on the stove! You'd have had more sense serving hot water with ice cubes. At least then, you wouldn't have wasted all this perfectly good cream and mushroom! What do you say, Hilaire?
I'm sorry, Cream. I'm sorry, Mushroom.
As you can see, Escoffier is that kind of chef as well.
You have to leave it on the heat for long enough to allow those flavors the chance to come out. Don't be fooled.
Yes, Chef.
Then go back and do it again. The customers are still waiting. Remember where you went wrong and don't repeat the same mistake twice.
Yes, Chef.
Excuse us, what?
Waiting to be served? Sorry, we're pretty busy. I'm afraid you have to join the line.
Oh, no, we're not here to eat.
So you're not paying customers? Then I'm afraid the wait will be even longer.
It's hard to talk to Escoffier when she's in the zone. Let's take a seat. We can get...
Looks like the rush hour is finally over. Is it always this busy here?
These days, yes. I'd say business has tripled since Escoffier joined as temporary head chef. Well, in her words, the Hotel de Boer doesn't need her anymore.
I guess I'll be heading off then.
Wait, take these home with you. We can't serve them now, and there's no sense in letting them go to waste.
Oh, thank you, Chef.
For what? Like I said, I just don't want them going to waste. Oh, and tell Fiamma to get well soon. So you're...
Firmont. That's the second time we've heard that name.
He's the chef that fell ill from stress. Hilaire is his son. He decided to pick up some work to help pay the bills. Escoffier knows their situation, so she's been making some extra food every day for him to take home.
Hey, I heard that, Navia! I've told you before, no one's making extra food. Hilaire is making blunders in the kitchen.
Yeah, failed dishes that just so happen to be nutritionally complete every single...
So, you two must be the world-famous traveler and her companion.
Oh, so you know us already. We'll skip the introduction then.
I certainly am. The Spina's headquarters are right next to the tavern. And But I don't work for the Hotel de Boer anymore. And being ex-head chef doesn't give me the right to interfere with that business. Besides, I'm the one who persuaded Savannah to take the job in the first place.
What?
Well, she was a much gentler person back then. A little timid even.
That's hard to believe. Are we definitely talking about the same Savannah here?
Honestly, I do wonder if she's just emulating me. I mean, I'm not the most pleasant head chef to be around either. Anyway, suffice to say that given the history between us, it'll be... Fiamma and the others probably think that Savannah gets it all from me.
I wouldn't be so sure about that, Escoffier.
She mentioned me.
Whatever shortcomings you feel you have, it looks like Monica still trusts.
Monica.
Plus, it's not like we're asking you to storm in there and raise hell.
Oh, Monica. Oh, Monica!
Escoffier?
I can't believe her! Powdered sugar is supposed to be applied sparingly. Look at all that on the wrapper. It's thicker than the sole of my shoe. Unbelievable! I won't stand for this. She has to learn.
Wait, so now she's,
Let's go catch up to her. We don't want to keep her waiting.
Is that Escoffier?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I messed up your order.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. Maybe the taste is a little off, but if you hadn't brought it up, I don't think I would have noticed.
But, please, you have to forgive me or Chef...
What the heck?
Get up, Monica! Can't you see that you're just making your customer feel more awkward?
Escoffier?
If you want forgiveness, then do what any self-respecting chef would do. Make the dish again. And this time, get it right. You cannot go begging your customers to feel sorry for you.
Savannah said that I'm not allowed back in the kitchen until...
that's some backwards logic. How can you fix your mistake without being allowed to cook? If this is what Fermat had to put up with, then no wonder he had a breakdown.
We apologize for interrupting your meal, sir.
It's fine. With my layman's palate, it's not like I can tell the difference anyway.
Oh, well...
Gosh, that's pretty strict. Has she always been that way? I don't recall things being like this when Escoffier was head chef here.
I mean, Escoffier was strict too, but I think the difference is that her criticism was more constructive, so you knew what you did wrong and how to improve, and we all knew that it came from a good place. Chef Escoffier was hard on us, but these days, whenever we make a mistake, we just get told to wake up, get your head in the game, and it's only gotten worse since word got out that Chef Escoffier had started...
Monica, you don't need to call me chef.
Yeah, but through no fault of your own, that banquet was a huge event, and so many staff were involved every step of the way.
Lumaline? What's that?
A new drug from the Fontaine Research Institute, produced from an extract of the Lumitoile. Apparently it sharpens the senses, so they used it to treat people with impaired responses to stimuli.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. They found out you can use it as a flavor enhancer since it stimulates the taste buds. Makes things pretty addictive.
They also found that overuse can have mood-altering effects, and even lead to nerve damage. So it quickly ended up on the guard's list of controlled substances. Unfortunately, however, some food products containing the additive had already made it to the...
Everyone knows that in all likelihood, someone probably just purchased a batch of contaminated ingredients by mistake. But you took all the blame. We all know why. You just didn't want to see this turn into a place where tensions are constantly running high. And now look at you. A fry chef in the Fleuve Cendre.
What are you trying to say? Sure, the Spina's Tavern is no Hotel de Boer, but come on. It's not that bad, is...
Oh, the Fleuve Cendre, you say? Great. That's where I'm downing from now on.
Monica, I'm very happy with my current job. And there's no changing the past. We just have to let bygones be bygones. Besides, at the end of the day, I was the head chef, regardless of whose mistake it was.
If only Savannah was half the boss you were.
I'm sorry? Do you have a problem with my conduct as head chef? So, you do remember who's boss. Escoffier? I thought you'd left this place for good. What are you doing back here?
What happened to you, Savannah? Why are you acting like this?
You made me the head chef and gave up your right to tell me how to do my job. You're not the boss here anymore, so stop acting like you own the place.
Whoa. Sounds like someone has a chip on her shoulder.
Oh, Savannah! My God, have you grown a temper since I last saw you? Have you put even half the amount of energy into improving your cooking skills, or are you still using the Pluie Lotus as an off-brand markup?
That's none of your business!
What happened to not storming in and raising hell?
Ho ho! I was not expecting to see something this spicy as soon as Escoffier returned.
Huh? Nayim?
Aye, miladies. Might I make a humble suggestion? Given that we have ourselves a tête-à-tête between chefs at the Hôtel de Bord.
The traditional way?
That's right! I'm talking, of course, about the tradition established by Modeste.
According to legend, the founders of Hôtel de Bord, Modeste and Savelli, used this method to resolve all of their disputes. Everything from petty arguments over next week's menu to disagreements over the strategic direction of the restaurant. The cooking contest would decide who had the final say.
Huh. It sounds like they had a lot of free time on their hands.
Ah, well, it might sound that way to us. But in fact, the cooking contest played an enormous role in motivating chefs to hone their skills. And indeed, the reintroduction of this institution in recent years has surely been instrumental in transforming the
Reintroduction? Someone brought it back?
What say you, Escoffier? Surely you of all people won't back down from this challenge.
Sure, I reinstated it, but I'm not a chef at Hôtel de Bord anymore.
Exhibition. Huh. If we're going to battle it out, let's put it all on the line.
I don't want anything to happen to you.
But if you lose, you hand over the Codex de Bord to me.
What? The Codex de Bord?
Only the legendary handbook written by the original head chef Modeste. It contains all his secret recipes, including Gâteau de Bord. It's the greatest treasure in Fontaine's culinary world.
Present and former. Wait, but that already includes Savannah, though.
What do you want that old thing for? You have your own copy, don't you?
Don't take me for a fool. You know perfectly well what I mean. I want your copy. The original version. The one you took with you when you left us.
I'm sorry, I must be missing something. You know, there's no difference between the original and the copy, right? They contain—
Stop trying to change the topic. What's wrong, Escoffier? Scared you're gonna lose to me?
Savannah, you may remember that we gave her the original as a parting gift to thank Escoffier for her years of service.
Oh, I'm sure it won't be an issue, as long as both sides agree to the terms. And as for the contest itself, let's make it a bake-off. Gâteau de Bord, per the recipe in the Codex. Well, Escoffier, you against me.
You sound surprisingly confident. All right then, let's see how much you've actually grown. I hope you surprise me, Savannah.
Believe me.
So, this whole bake-off thing kind of came out of nowhere.
Well, I got a sense that she's holding something back. But we chefs always express ourselves in our cooking.
Huh? Holding back?
Escoffier only picked up on it because she's the same way.
That's patently false, at least where your macarons are concerned.
Okay. That's one case where you can—
Oh, that? Well, it's not so much a recipe book as a diary of Modeste's adventures. Back in the day, he and his good friend Savelli explored far and wide. For instance, legend has it that the original Gâteau de Bord was made using a special secret ingredient that Modeste discovered on one of his adventures. So rare was the ingredient that they could never make more than 16 slices of the cake per day. But Modeste and Savelli went on to found the original Hôtel de Bord, especially Modeste. He was hailed as a once-in-a-generation genius.
Ah, Paimon's heard this kind of story before. Armed with the Codex, the Hôtel de Bord took its right—
What? No, of course not. Cooking is a constantly evolving art form. How could any restaurant survive if they only served food that was popular last century? Anyway, never mind centuries. Savelli and Modeste parted ways not even 10 years after their rise to fame. Then, Modeste— and that was it. The end of the Hôtel de Bord's heyday. It fell into decline, and even then it still took numerous relocations and changes of management before we finally ended up with Nayim and—
Oh! So the Codex really isn't all that.
Yes, well, that's fiction, and this is reality.
Case in point. Even the Gâteau de Bord they sell now is actually Escoffier's reimagination.
Wait, really? Why though? Didn't that recipe make it into the Codex?
It did, but like I said, it's a dusty old book now, and the records aren't as legible as they once were. Not to mention that there's no way of finding the secret ingredient Modeste wrote about. So, reimagination is right. I consulted some historical records and took what I could from the codex. As for why we gave it the same name and kept the tradition of only selling 16 slices a day, well, you've got Vanishem's business sense to thank for that.
Oh. Huh. Well, that kind of takes all the mystique out of it.
Hey now, it might not be the original Gâteau de Bourg, but just think, if the original truly was the perfect cake you're imagining it to be, there's no way the recipe would have been lost to history, right?
Anyway, before I left my role as head chef, I made a copy of all the recipes from the codex.
So why is she so interested in the original copy? Could it be a symbolic thing?
Well, it was clearly precious enough to give to Escoffier as a parting gift. Maybe from her point of view, it's like management doesn't truly see her as being worthy of the role.
You think so?
What? Huh. Guess...
Who knows? We could speculate forever. It means vesting her in this bake-off. However much she's changed since we worked together,
Well, I'm confident that you and your spatula can get justice for from...
Let's not get too ahead of her. Now, if I had to push it, I could probably do the work of 3 chefs
Well, that's easy. The 3 of us are veterans in the kitchen.
Well, I have heard the Traveler is an accomplished cook, as well as a warrior. But be warned, I will hold you to exceptionally high standards.
Oh, count me in too. Even if it means competing against the Traveler, so be it. I'll show...
Confident. I like it. Alright, let's start with some elementary mise en place.
I've always called it chopping stuff up, not mise en place. But it's basically the same thing, right?
Oh, Navia. The difference in you... Looks like you found that easier than I expected.
Yeah, thankfully it was pretty straightforward in the end. You made it sound like we'd be carving statues out of fruits or something.
Well, brace yourself, because the next step is anything but straightforward. A kind of special food processor I got the Fontaine Research Institute to make, but this isn't exactly standard kitchen equipment, so that probably didn't make a whole lot of sense.
Custom-made equipment from the Fontaine Research Institute, huh? That's some pretty high-tech food prep. Paimon's never used anything this weird before. Cool. No, weird.
And done. These are the flavor compounds extracted from our ingredients. I've processed all the fruit you chopped up earlier.
Wow! Even the smell is so much more concentrated. What next? Do we...
Absolutely not! Throwing everything in at once will ruin the balance of flavors. I'll demonstrate again. Now, watch closely. Slowly and carefully, not a drop. That didn't count. I was experimenting. Count. And voila! Now it's your turn. Not terrible. Considering this was everyone's first time blending flavor extracts, it could... But the Traveler's work was surprisingly good. Are you sure? That goes without saying. Still, credit where credit's due. Alright, Now for the part I've been looking forward to. I want each of you to cook. That's right. The true test of your cooking skills is the finished product. How's it going? Look at that! With the grace of a snow-winged goose, as I like to say.
Pretty good, right? Not to brag or anything, but Paimon's a bit of a connoisseur when it...
6 points.
What? Oh, well, fair enough. Paimon doesn't cook all that often, so as long as it's a pass...
That's 6 out of 100.
What?
You say you're a connoisseur, but it's quite clear from this dish that you have far more experience consuming food than creating it. By that logic, I suppose you think listening to Lady Farina on repeat every day would make you an opera singer.
Aww.
Me next, me next! I'll have you know that this batch of macarons has 2 whole tablespoons less sugar than my previous ones.
So you went from 12 tablespoons to 10? Well, it's nice to know you actually measured it out.
Aw.
Now to the final dish.
So,
This is our last hope.
8 points.
darn.
Not exactly. The color is spot on. Beautiful aroma. Excellent presentation. I have to give this one 8 points out of 10. Maybe even 9 points.
Huh? How did you pull that off?
Don't get me wrong. There's room for improvement. But still, this is clearly the work of an accomplished chef. I can really taste the grace of the snow-winged goose in this dish. The traveler's journey, with all its trials, tribulations, and setbacks.
Hey, you made that last part up! No way did you taste that!
Well, it looks like I lost fair and square. I guess you'll be taking the Traveler as one of your assistants then?
But if it takes 3 chefs, that still leaves 1 slot remaining!
Chef Escoffier!
Oh, it's Hilaire! What brings you here?
I heard the news about the cooking contest. You're...
And you think you're up to the...
Oh, no, I know I'm not there yet. It's actually my dad who wanted to help.
Firma, last I heard, you could barely get out of bed.
Chef Escoffier, Navia, Traveler, thank you all so much for everything you're doing for me. I've had enough of sitting around at home while you run yourselves ragged. If you let me, I'd like to help you win this cooking contest.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Don't you worry, I'll be fine. I'm feeling much better now. The fact is, I'm a fine chef, despite recent events. I've proven myself in the Hotel de Bourg kitchen.
Firma, have you even set foot in a kitchen since leaving hotel?
I have... Huh? That's strange. Why are my hands shaking?
What do you call this, Firma?
I can't seem to grip my knife.
Do it again! Again! Again!
I...
Hopeless. Get out of my kitchen yesterday.
Dad, what's wrong?
I don't understand. I was feeling so much better, and then I...
Dad, talk to me.
I think the real issue here is not physical exhaustion, but psychological trauma.
Monica, when did you get here?
Probably because you were all concentrating so hard on your cooking. I didn't want to interrupt your flow. But anyway, I'm so sorry. If only I'd known how serious your situation was.
You have nothing to apologize for, Monica. During those long nights of redoing every order, you were the only person who looked out for me.
Oh, come on. All I did was make you some tea. I doubt it was much help.
She sounds like the worst. All right, another Savannah horror story.
She's been getting harsher and harsher on us ever since she heard about Escoffier's new role in the Fleuve Cendre. Seems like no matter what we make, she'll find something wrong with it.
What is this? It looks like a dog's...
Then she orders us to redo the dish again and again, but we never know what's going to make her happy.
Do it again, do it again, do it again!
Every time you remake it, you just get another earful from her.
Either straighten yourself out, or get up!
So now, it seems like just picking up a kitchen utensil gives...
Oh man, that must be awful.
The more I want to get it perfect, the more my hands shake, and the more scared I am of making another mistake.
How can you give up so easily, Firma? You weren't a quitter when you were working, and even under Savannah, you talk about working late into the night trying to perfect your dishes.
I don't know what's come over me. When I think back, I just remember feeling like my heart and my hands were growing heavier, and maybe Savannah was right. Maybe I am just...
Dad.
I see. Well, it sounds like there are some deep issues at work here. I will win this contest, and after that, I encourage you to approach Savannah and talk this out.
But what if you can't find another assistant in time?
You think being one person short will ruin my chances? Even if I had to go it alone, I would present the perfect guest.
Oh, well, Paimon and Nadia will still keep practicing, just in case.
And so will I.
Yeah, and...
Anna to see the error of her ways. Then I'm sure...
Well, Paimon didn't think we'd be poaching from Savannah's staff to get our third person, but...
Great! Then it's settled. And to congratulate you all on making the team?
Spina sponsored?
Well, I promised the traveler a feast in the Fleuve Cendre.
Yeah! Feast, feast, feast!
All right, if you insist, then prepare for some of the finest food of your lives. That's not a bad idea, actually.
That was a dream come true. Paimon never knew Fontanian cuisine could be this good.
Why, Savannah? Oh, nothing. I was just flicking through the original Codex. I wanted to see if there was anything I'm missing. Something I hadn't noticed before. But I can't find anything. It's just some hastily scribbled... The copy I gave her not only has all the recipes in full, but even includes my own private tips and notes from years of experience. Yeah, maybe. Still, it's just hard for me to imagine that the Savannah I knew, we were... At least she was a little shy, but meticulous with everything and everyone. Those qualities are why I recommended her to replace me as head chef. I never imagined for 1 second that she'd... well, I mean to an extent, of course. I pushed... And the idea that she turned out like this because of me is... difficult to come to terms with. I wonder if this is how Modeste... Yes, with his good friend and co-founder of the Hotel de Bois... The story goes that after Modeste unveiled his Gâteau de Bourg and was hailed as a culinary genius, he was admired and adored by all. But his newfound fame, unlike Modeste, whose every new creation was an instant hit, Savelli seemed to face setbacks every turn. And with Modeste being whisked off to all manner of functions by his celebrity friends, he had less and less time to discuss the culinary arts with Savelli. People started gossiping about Savelli, and their relationship between the two gradually soured. Everything came to an abrupt end when Modeste, still in the prime of his life and still hailed as a genius, suddenly died from an acute illness. And that was it. They neither had a decisive split, nor got the chance to properly reconcile. Their story, just one rumor had it that Savelli actually killed Modeste out of jealousy. Unlikely. It's a popular theory, but still, beyond a point, there's no way of knowing what truly happened in the past. All we can do is try to make sure the present doesn't quite go as badly. And that's why I have to win this contest tomorrow. Then get the truth about everything that's been going on, even if it means cracking her open like— Really? Well, I like the confidence. Don't let me down tomorrow, then.
This contest will be conducted in a double-blind format. The labels will be placed out of sight underneath the plates, only to be revealed.
As one of the judges, I promise to be fair and impartial.
When my meal got interrupted yesterday, I never thought this is how they'd make it up to me. Getting a seat on the judging panel is a pretty sweet deal.
Both contestants have taken their positions. Then, without further ado, let the Hôtel de Bord cooking contest commence!
Monica, Traveler, it's go time. Even the best chef in the world can't flavor their food without prepping the flavoring. Even the best chef in the world can't flavor their food without prepping the flavoring, right?
Alphonse! Gaspar! Get to work! Do not disappoint me!
Looks like our two head chefs are raring to go. Like an oven on full blast, this competition is quickly heating up.
A dash of frosting!
You can't match Escoffier's talent.
I present to you Gâteau de Bourg. I was just exercising caution. I had to make sure everything was perfect.
Time's up! Contestants, please!
That guy was right.
We both made the same dish after all.
Whoa! This is really rather good.
Wonderfully soft and fluffy. Beautifully sweet. This is a masterclass in how to make gâteau de bois.
I would give this one at least 9.9 out of 10! Only because there's something about the flavor of the base. It's just a little different from the recipe I'm used to.
Huh? Really? I couldn't tell.
All right, on to gâteau number 2. I haven't had a single bite and already this...
I have a feeling that this gâteau will be a gâteau for the ages.
How exciting! I'm gonna dig in. I think maybe someone got a little carried away when they were adding the sugar.
Not just the sugar, it's the flavors too. This...
It appears the decision is unanimous. This gâteau is far below the standard we would expect.
And Paimon thought this might actually be close. Turns out she can't bake to save her life.
Something's not right here. Savannah may not be perfect.
I can now declare that the creator of the first gâteau has won this cook.
What? It's... Savannah?
No! That's impossible!
Hey, Savannah! You cheated, didn't you? What did you do? Oh, you swapped the plates, didn't you?
Well, someone's a sore loser. These cakes went from the oven to the judge's table without me ever laying a finger on them. And it was Vanejem's staff who labeled them in the kitchen. If you're looking to accuse someone, why isn't it more likely that Escoffier's lost her edge?
You take that back!
Judges, we demand a rematch.
That's enough! What's done as head chef, or rather as team lead, I take Savannah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
If you want the Codex de Boer that much, you can have it.
Escoffier, no!
But you must promise me that you'll apologize to Firma and compensate him for everything you put him through.
It's a little late to be negotiating terms.
Look, Savannah, you may have fooled everyone else, but can you really fool yourself? But only on the condition that you promise to stop putting so much pressure on your staff.
Fine. I'll treat this as your final handover of duties from one... So, will that be all, ex-head chef?
I didn't mean that to be a scolding from your former boss. Just a word of advice from a fellow chef and But I don't know if you're even open to input from other people anymore.
I know what I'm doing. I don't need your...
All right, fine. I'm glad to hear it.
Escoffier!
The Codex de Boer! Finally.
Escoffier? How could you let her get away with this?
Yeah! The Codex is...
It's all right. It was just a bake-off, not the end of the world. Besides, it's not all bad. She agreed to compensate Firma. Honestly, if I'd have known that giving her the Codex...
No. No! This doesn't make any sense!
Huh?
That's it? No secrets, no nothing? I don't believe it! This can't be happening.
Oh, Chef Savannah!
Savannah?
It's nothing life-threatening. Just a lot of pent-up stress.
Oh, I knew it.
Pent-up stress?
The truth is, however hard she might be on the rest of us, the person she puts the most pressure on...
Yes, there are nights when she makes us redo things over and over into the wee hours. But for her, it's every night. She'll hide herself away in the kitchen, working on new techniques and recipes, and only realize how long she's been at it when we come to work the following morning.
But why?
Our best guess is she doesn't want to be seen as less of a chef than Escoffier.
And there it is.
Even so, that's no excuse for taking her anger out on the rest of you.
Yeah, and it's definitely no excuse for cheating in the cooking contest.
About that, we honestly have no idea how she did it. We were focused on our own work the whole time.
Leone and Algalia were the ones I tasked with labeling the cakes. I've already spoken to them both. They're at a loss to explain it too.
Not to worry. Come on, join me downstairs.
How is it? Have you figured out what it was?
Oh, this is aggravated assault on my palate. I'd rather eat wet cement than this.
Is it really that bad? I made sure the taste tested before it was served.
Oh, relax. This isn't your cake. Savannah never switched the plates. The offending flavors are coming from in between the icing and the cake base, which means someone tampered with it while it was being made. Or in other words, we have a traitor in our midst.
I'm sorry. I was forced into it. It was Chef Savannah. She said if I didn't cooperate, she would...
Calm down, Monica. I've already accepted defeat. And if I wanted retribution, I would have brought this up when the results were announced. Whatever's going on with you, just spill the beans.
I was the one who caused the food safety incident that one time.
Food safety? Wait, you mean the Lumaline incident? So you procured the contaminated ingredients?
I think so. Savannah and I were on procurement that day. I didn't check everything as well as I should have, and so I let contaminated ingredients make it into the kitchen. But I swear I didn't do it on purpose. I had no idea there was an issue with them, but the last thing I expected was for Savannah to use it as leverage to blackmail me with...
This is crazy! So Savannah pressured you into sabotaging Escoffier's cake by threatening to expose your secret if you didn't?
I know, it's terrible. I'm so sorry. I was so scared. The thought of Chef Escoffier finding out that I put her in jail? I thought Escoffier would hate my guts if she ever found out, and yet somehow that's ended up in me doing something even worse.
Seriously? All this fuss over a little slip? Firstly, it's not like I got a life sentence. I did my stint at the fortress, and now I'm out. So you don't need to feel ashamed or frightened or...
You mean...
Oh, well, I'm not saying you don't have to take... You should tell Vanagem to mark down your performance for the past few months. Good. Now, back to Savannah. What about the original codex would compel her to resort...
I have my suspicions. Not that I've...
Ugh. What happened to me?
I've overheard some customers murmuring about how the Hotel de Boer hasn't been the same since Escoffier left. They think our menu doesn't taste like it used to, especially...
Now that you mention it, I noticed it during the contest too. I couldn't put my finger on it, but the flavor seems subtly different from how it used to be. But the difference was so small, I'm sure no one would notice it besides our most loyal customers and true dessert connoisseurs.
Still, as head chef, it's easy to see why Savannah would get so hung up on it. So many times I've seen her make the cake base over and over again, laid into the...
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Never really gave it much thought, though.
Thinking back on it now, it's clear that Savannah's been in a downward spiral ever since Escoffier left.
She wants to prove that she can fill Escoffier's shoes. That's gotta be the reason. But after countless setbacks, she's getting more and more unhinged. And at some point along the way, she switched from doubting herself to doubting Escoffier.
Doubting Escoffier? For what?
Yeah, It would explain why she was bent on getting the original at any cost. She must have thought Escoffier purposely omitted key details from her recipes when she copied them out. Also, she could retain her place as the #1 chef in Fontaine, the only one privy to all the secrets of the trade.
Oh, for goodness sake. What a stupid idea.
Of course. Then she finally got the codex only to discover that the secret recipes she's been pining for don't exist at all. Seeing how utterly wrong she was must have been a real shock to the system. It probably brought up everything at once.
There's still one thing that doesn't make sense, though. If Savannah had the real recipe all along, how come it tasted different? She might not be on the same level as Escoffier, but surely after like 50 attempts, she'd get it right one of those times.
You'd think so, but geniuses like Escoffier...
New head chef, you say? What's her name?
I wonder, can the Hotel de Boer keep its edge without a sky?
This tastes different from last time. Is it undercooked or something? Ugh!
Take this. It's a copy of the Codex de Boer. From now on, you will be its keeper. Don't listen to the doubters. Hey, did you hear me? Once I'm gone, the restaurant is all...
All this time, I've been blaming...
I sincerely apologize for putting everyone out. Savannah, let's give her the day to calm down. I'm sure you'll have the chance to talk...
In that case, I'll go and update Firma and his family.
So, we'll come back tomorrow then.
That was a long day.
Oh, nice! Macarons? Or are you gonna switch it up this time?
Traveler, how much do you know about the snow-winged goose? Every year, they migrate long distances in search of a suitable home. Fontaine poets often use the image of that goose to explore the ideas about leadership, but what those poets don't know is that once the lead goose shows signs of fatigue. So the truth is that leadership, I guess what I'm saying is, cooking is a science, not magic. Given the same ingredients, same recipe, and same environment, I see no reason why two different... Of course, some people have a more sensitive palate than others, and some people are just born bolder or more conscientious. I'd have no reason to expect so much from others if I believed that perfection can only... Okay, I've made up my mind. And come tomorrow, I'll give her the scolding of her...
Why are we here so early? Our meeting... check on her? Oh no. Escoffier, are you alright?
I'm fine. Just need to get some more coffee in me. Huh? What happened to my coffee? Did I really drink it all? Alright. Thanks. I appreciate it. I feel much better now. Thank you so much, Traveler and Paimon.
Glad to hear it, but make sure to catch up on your...
I think I figured out where the problem lies.
Wait, what investigation?
I'll save it for when everyone else gets... Yes,
Escoffier! Have you seen Savannah?
Huh? No, not since...
After seeing her home yesterday, we were all a little concerned about how she was only to find an empty house with the doors. I left Alphonse and the others to keep watch at her home. If she's not here, then...
Boss, Escoffier!
Alphonse? You're supposed...
We were, but then, just after you left, we found this stuff at...
Oh, looks like a map with...
Wait a second. This feels familiar. Of course, from the Codex. They're all places that Modeste explored on his... Yeah, but...
The Codex de Boer?
Seriously?
Ugh, idiot. Does she have a death wish?
Hold on. there's more. Besides the map,
It was you. It sounds like a threat.
Retrieve. So the cooking contest and the cheating.
She's keeping the...
Ugh, first we thought that Savannah...
You're finally here. Of course. I should have put two and two together as soon as I read your... Even the suggestion that Escoffier was keeping secrets from me. It was all part of your grand plan, wasn't it?
Whoa! This place looks like an underwater restaurant, doesn't it? Is that a...
I think Modeste's codex mentioned this place. A public bath from the time of Remoria. So yeah, definitely the kind of place that would have served food and drinks.
Huh? Some blubber beasts have come to join the party? Aw, they ran off!
That could be easier said than done. Something's blocking the entrance.
We prepared a banquet for our shy little guests, and as the food flowed away...
We have to feed the blubber beasts? With what? See, this is why you should always bring snacks. You never know when you're gonna need them. Now?
There is no time for that. Romar...
Wait, we're serious.
A dash of frosting!
Beasts or not, are we sure this stuff is edible?
Trust me, they'll love...
Oh, good question. If we try to put them in the pool, we'll probably just scare them off again, and who...
Yes, we can't afford to wait for them to double back.
Wow, it's really singing! It must taste better than Paimon thought!
A dash of frosting! The tracks turned back again. Oh, so annoying. A little amuse-bouche!
Hey, give me your water.
Here.
I said your water, the one you just drank out of?
Sure.
All those years slaving away under Escoffier, and then you. Today, it's finally paying off. Not only have I found the ruin that Savelli kept hidden, but I also get to boss you around like my little lapdog. Hey, go scout ahead for me. If we need to do any more blast tunneling, I want to know where to lay the explosive. Did you not hear me? Get going.
Why don't you do it yourself?
Oh, when did you learn to fight back? You're always so compliant when I give you instructions by letter.
That's because you threatened to expose me for the Lumiline incident. I swear.
Friendship only to murder him out of vanity. He promised to explore the world with him, only to later destroy all records of their adventures. It's a miracle I even found this place.
For so long, and now—
But you drank it too!
It's what we both deserve. This is the price we must pay for betraying Escoffier. You'll die here with me, Monica!
You.
What's so
Oh, you're too much. I thought I'd play along for a bit. I saw your dumb plan a mile off. There's no poison in these bottles,
No.
Revenge is a dish best served cold, you know? Did you really think you're You're a lousy chef, and you make a lousy villain, too. A complete waste.
Everything I ever did was a failure. And now—
Hey, why don't you try your hand at being a comedian in your next life? You should have just done like I asked, Savannah. All I wanted you to do was scout the ruins for me.
Stop right there!
Let her go, Monica! We've got you!
Escoffier?
Ugh, looks like I'll have to keep you around for a little.
You can't!
Stay back if you want her alive! Escoffier and the Traveler. I can't take you both on in combat.
Monica, what are you hoping to achieve by this? You're about to commit murder, and for what?
A recipe. You chefs are all blinded by your myopic focus on kitchen affairs. Well, Modeste had a secret. The truth behind his so-called genius, the je ne sais quoi factor in his gâteau de bourg. And it's right.
Are you serious? You're here because of a gâteau de bourg obsession? You've gone—
I couldn't care less about the cake itself. No, the real treasure is the secret ingredient that Modeste sourced from these ruins. He and Savelli were fools. A priceless treasure of Remoria in the palms of their hands,
and they thought, ooh, this would go great in our cake mix. We're talking about a powerful stimulant that also sharpens the senses. That's no cooking ingredient. It's a groundbreaking drug. That's right, I've done my research. It was a drug that Remoria developed for their war machine. I could make a killing by selling it to the treasure hoarders or the Fatui.
Will you listen to yourself? You're completely delusional.
My eyes are wide open. Just wait till I get my hands on this treasure.
Wait, what's that sound?
Just when I thought she couldn't get any crazier. She's lucky the whole place didn't.
Uh-oh, Savannah's gone too.
Monica must have taken her. Oh, what a coward. She's only
That's true. Even if she finds the treasure, she'll need Savannah alive if she wants to get out of here in one piece.
Oh, well, our path's been blocked, so let's look for another route. That's strange. These don't look Romorian to me.
Adventurers from last century Fontaine, huh? Oh, Modeste and Savelli, do you think they camped here?
By the looks of it, this was a one-person camp. They adventured together, but maybe one of them came back alone at a later date. You really think so?
Trust our adventurers' instincts. We're pros at this stuff, just like you're a pro in the kitchen. Okay, well, the Traveler has more adventuring experience overall, but Paimon's definitely... Darn it! Paimon was just about to show off her rummaging skills!
Huh, no kidding. Are all adventurers so obsessed with journaling? I mean, I guess I take a lot of notes when I'm cooking as well, but I thought that was just me.
Anyway, let's find out who was here.
It's been years since I've last visited these rooms. It's exactly the way I remember. Sadly, up above, on dry land, everything has changed. The treasure of Remoria. That's what we used to call it. Modeste was right about its potential. It turned Gâteau de Bourg into a national sensation. Our limited stock of the substance meant that the gâteau could only be produced on a small scale. But this only drove up the popularity all the more. He was praised as a genius, while I, as the one person who'd ever disagreed with him, was labeled a talentless fool. Modeste tried his best to console me, but I knew better than anyone just how great the gulf was between us. Our conversations grew scarce, and we saw less and less of each other. I didn't fight it. He had new friends and a career of his own. Why invite further disdain by inserting myself? I told myself that maybe one day, when I've finally created a masterpiece of my own, or maybe one day, when I've put these feelings of self-loathing behind me, I'd be able to ask him with a smile on my face, how about we go on one more adventure? Unfortunately, that day will never come.
So it was Savelli. From the sounds of it, he came back after Modeste had already died.
I always thought it was just a legend. But if it's true, then this must be the place where...
In that case, what does that say about the death?
The taste of Gâteau de Bourg has being the perfectionist that he was, but as he baked and taste tested over and over again, he found he only strayed further and further from the original taste. It was only when he was sipping on coffee one day and realized he could not taste the bitterness that the truth finally dawned on him. The treasure of Remoria stimulates the senses, taste included, and invigorates the spirit. In the short term, it offers people the ultimate gourmet experience, but in the long term, it dulls their senses entirely. In hindsight, it made perfect sense. After all, why would a culture that sought liberation from the constraints of their bodies over the course of his many culinary experiments, the finest culinary talent of his generation, now faced a future in which he would never be able to taste anything ever again? And because we had become estranged, I could not be there to stop him, to offer some words of comfort, or even to say goodbye. Yet despite everything, he sent me his final letter.
The treasure of Remoria? Guess Monica was...
So, Modeste chose to end his own life. Then, why all the rumors that Savelli murdered him? Also, neither the Codex nor any other contemporary records make any mention of the treasure of Remoria.
Modeste told me everything in his final letter. His was a tale of how even a genius could fail. Did he hope I would gain some personal... But if the public ever learned how Modeste's greatest triumph became his undoing, his fall from grace would be swift and merciless. 1 minute a genius, the next a joke. It would surely spell the end for his... What would be his legacy then? How would future generations view everything we built together? I fear the scorn I have faced these last years would pale in comparison to the scorn shown to him by the history. I cannot let that come to pass. I will do what I must to protect his name. It may lead his family to suspect me of having a hand in his demise. But if that's the price of destroying all evidence of my crimes, then so be it. I would rather the world believe a tale of genius and jealousy than see his reputation intact. The final loose end is the evidence here. At the bottom of the sea.
Huh? What's wrong?
So we thought, but if Monica finds out what happened to the treasure, there's no telling what she might do.
The treasure of Remoria. I have found you at last. Savelli, you tried your best to bury the truth, but you underestimated the children of Modeste. But I have to thank you too, Savannah. But now, finally, the secret to Remoria's military might is within my grasp. The treasure of Remoria is mine! Oh, it's empty?
Monica?
Escoffier?
Savelli's final act! He wanted to conceal the secret of the treasure forevermore and make sure it would never harm anyone again. So he came here after his friend's death and destroyed every last shred that remained.
This can't be happening. All the years I spent piecing together the truth. All that for an empty jar?
Monica, don't do anything stupid. This ruin is more dangerous than you realize.
Oh, shut your pie hole!
Praise be to Lord Remus. You barbarian shall be slain.
She's a nutcase! A liability to herself and everyone else! Well, now it's up to us to...
Why is this place still shaking? Enough chit-chat. Let's get out
coming!
Oh, no, you don't. If I can't get what I want, neither will any of you. I've got nothing to show for my life's work so far. But if I can take another so-called genius down with me in my final moment, then it was all worth it.
You're a psycho!
When did you wake up?
I may be a lousy chef, but it looks like I'm not a complete waste of space.
Traveler?
Escoffier! Savannah!
Traveler!
Venejem! What are you all doing?
What did you expect us to do? Stay at the restaurant and...
We had to do something. Even though that something ended up being, well, waiting for you here instead.
I don't deserve any of you. It was my fault Escoffier had to leave. Come back, Escoffier.
Okay, so everything I said to you that...
Huh? Sorry, I was kinda in my own head at the time.
Forget it. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I didn't leave this job because of you. If you were that bad, why would all your staff show up here for you?
Escoffier's right. Sure, you nitpick our work and get us to do
things were pretty rough after Escoffier left.
Our customers know that Escoffier doesn't work for us anymore. But the fact at the end of the day...
No, I get what you're saying.
Well, about that...
It's been a while, Chef Savannah.
Firmal? I'm so sorry, but... I'm too late, aren't I?
Actually, I think I'm going to be just fine.
Huh?
We thought Firmin's problem was purely psychological in nature. But after the threat letter came to light, it got Firmin thinking. And then he remembered the tea that Monica used to give him every... And as it turns out, she was lacing it with Lumaline the whole time.
No way! Doesn't that cause nerve damage?
It can. High doses pose a risk of serious nervous and sensory complications. But if you calculate the dosage carefully, you can control the extent of its effects. A small dose might simply make a person more...
No wonder it seemed like you'd lost your edge.
I asked my friends at the Fontaine Research Institute about it. They said that with the low dose I was taking, the risks... Well, that's what happens when you give someone a little bit of hope to cling on to.
There's... more.
You mean...
Oh, so that's why Savannah's been so irritable this whole time!
Let's not be too quick to blame everything on the Lumaline. That stuff can only amplify what's already there. So you better make sure you reflect on your behavior and apologize to every single person you've wronged.
I will. I'm sorry. There's still one question that's really bugging me. Why is it? Is it just... I mean, is it because...
It's because the heating element in your oven is...
What?
Huh?
I felt like something was off during the cooking contest. Once I got around to checking all the equipment, I noticed it right away. There was a half-degree discrepancy between the temperature setting and the actual temperature. All the ovens in the whole kitchen had the same problem, which confused me at the time, but by this point, it's pretty obvious that Monica must have tampered with them. I would have figured it out the day of the bake-off, since the issue affected both our teams.
No. I spent so long trying to find out where I was going wrong, and then it all comes back to one simple, undeniable truth. You're...
Oh, cut it out! Stop the woe is me act for a second and just think. I came up with this Do you know how long I spent perfecting my Gâteau de Bourg? And you've been head chef now for what, 6 months? If that, a couple hundred failed attempts. You clearly have no idea how many kitchen failures I've had under my belt. Genius or not, everyone makes mistakes. You're only a lousy chef if you don't face up to your mistake. Surely you haven't forgotten all that. You were no lousy chef back when I handed you the reins.
I haven't.
That's our head chef.
Haha! Sounds like we won't need another changing of the guard in the hood.
Aw, what a perfect ending to a crazy journey.
So you got your mojo back?
Yeah.
Aw, friends again.
Good. So now that's out of the way. It's time for payback. You cheated in our last bake-off, and I demand a rematch.
But that was mostly Monica's fault, wasn't it?
Right. And also, does it have to be right now? Savannah's only
No excuses. This is a cooking contest between two top chefs, and nothing will stand in its way. So grab your spatula and get ready, because this rematch is happening today.
Hey, so, this whole time you were salty about losing?
The second cooking contest commences now!
This time, no more games, and no holding back!
I feel like I don't have the right to be here.
Hey, what are you so afraid of? You can't unbake it now. And if you don't serve it, then good or bad, you'll never find out how to improve. If you're too scared to fail, you'll never know what real success tastes like. So?
Embrace your failure. Taste it. Digest it. That's the way to success.
I don't know. Sounds like it's easier said than done.
I'll do it.
The results are in!
Quite rightly, too.
Oh yeah, look at that!
Now, where were we? I had two reasons for leaving. One was the food safety incident, of course, but the other was that the Hotel de Boer had reached a point, so I decided to step down and look for new opportunities to improve.
Improve how?
Well, a while back, I got to know a fellow chef from Liyue, and in her, I saw so many. She has that same adventurous spirit that Modeste and Sibeli had in their youth. Slime you. There's a whole world of new flavors out there waiting to be explored, hiding away in ingredients we... Case in point, remember those Romaritime flowers down in the ruins?
What? Paimon didn't notice at all!
Half of the art of cooking is dissecting the recipes of previous chefs, and the other half, it lies in freeing yourself from the confines of the kitchen. You've got to go out and explore the endless possibilities.
Uh-oh. Paimon's suddenly not sure she wants to try your cooking anymore. Hey!
In the meantime, take this. It's a recipe for petit gâteau de...
All right!
Oh, of course. I've already promised that...
You know, Paimon's... Surely Monica... She practically dedicated her life to find...
Since you mentioned the treasure, between Modeste's writings and what we saw in those ruins, the so-called Treasure of Remoria was most likely a substance that the Remorians extracted from Lumitoiles. better known to us as Lumiline.
Huh? So then, why all the hype back in the early days of Gâteau de Bourg?
Don't forget, it was a very different era. We could barely even refine sugar back then. So desserts were very much in their infancy. In a world of bland food, it's no wonder that the first thing to really excite people's taste buds took the world by storm. And as for the Lumiline, it may well have been somewhat valuable in ancient times. But these days, it's just another drug from the Fontaine Research Institute. Even if Savelli hadn't destroyed it all, I doubt it would be worth that much these days.
So after all that, there was nothing in those ruins but worthless junk. Feels strange to say it, but Paimon almost feels sorry for Monica. She said...
Hey!
Huh?
Navia? You just got back from that underwater. Did you see anything like this down there? Freshly unearthed from the ruins of... Experts say it has immense artistic and historical...
Wait! Isn't that the jar they used to hold the treasure?
If only it was still in one piece. Some butterfingers must have dropped it or something. Ugh, it's such a shame.